Hey, John Morris here, CEO at johnmorrisonline.com. And in my last video, I talked about the 5 stages of coding career development. And the first stage, discovering your passion, is oftentimes one of the most difficult for people to get their heads around and to implement. And for me, that was very much true. I really had a hard time discovering my passion, and I was really suffering because of it, because I was chasing so many different things and had spread myself so thin because I really had no idea what it is that I really wanted to do. And so when I came across the 5 stages of coding career development and realized I needed to get that figured out, when I set out to actually go and do it, it still wasn't some sort of magic button. It wasn't necessarily easy to actually answer that question. And there's really not a ton of good information out there for doing that. And I ended up trying a whole bunch of different things that really didn't work very well for me, and had got frustrated to the point where I was about to really just kind of move on because I had tried so many different things and really didn't feel the kind of passion that I was expecting to feel from answering this kind of question. But then I stumbled across a 4-part process that really connected with me and really helped me to uncover what it was that I was passionate about, and to identify my core value proposition, my unique gift that I have to give to the world. And once I did that, man, it was quite a change. I went from really chasing all kinds of different things, not really knowing what I wanted, to knowing exactly what I wanted, knowing exactly what I wanted to do, cutting a whole bunch of unnecessary, frivolous things out of my life, and honing in on what I was most passionate about and only doing those things. And obviously, as a result, I was a lot happier, but I also made a lot more money as well, because the things that I was doing, I was really, really good at. So in this video, I'm going to show you that 4-part process because I think it's going to be really helpful for you, and I think it's going to help you to conquer that first stage in your coding career and discover your passion, and help you cut out all of the things that are unnecessary that you might be chasing right now. So that's what I'm going to do in this video, so stay tuned. All right, so what is this 4-part process that I discovered for uncovering your passion and your core value proposition? And really, this is about identifying the unique gift that you have to give to the world. And it's about your core value proposition, your passion, the thing that matters most to you in terms of your career and your life's work. And so as we talk about this, I want to make sure you have that proper context, because some of the terms that we're going to talk about are a little bit broad and maybe a little bit vague, but I want you to always keep in mind we're talking about your life's work. We're talking about what it is that you want to do long-term as a career. What is the thing that you want to give to the world to leave ultimately your legacy, right? So the first step, or the first part of that process, is identifying your passions. It's about identifying the things that make you emotional, that emotionally resonate with you. And in a lot of ways, it can be the things that make you angry, the things that when you see them and they're done wrong, or they're not done the way that you think they should be, it makes you angry, that you get worked up about it. Or maybe it's something that makes you happy, that when you do it or when you see it done right, it just naturally makes you happy and feel good. Now for me, it's really kind of a 2-part thing. One is building stuff, and I kind of mentioned that in the 5 stages video, but it's just building things. I just have this natural desire to want to build stuff. And then the other part of that is helping people. And so for me, when I got this figured out, what I realized is that I wanted to help other people by building things. And so that really cut out a lot of stuff that I was doing, and really helped me focus on what it is that mattered to me most. And I was able to then get really good at that particular thing. And so now I spend my days building things that help other people. And if I'm not connected to, this is the really important part, if I'm not connected to the reason why what I'm building is going to help somebody, I have a really difficult time following through on that project. And so I've learned by discovering my passion that I really need to connect with the ultimate person that this particular thing that I'm building is going to serve, and who it's going to help and how it's going to help them. I really need to connect with that. And that was a big thing for me because it helped explain to me why certain projects, even though I was building something, why I would just get disillusioned with them or why they just didn't resonate with me and I didn't feel emotionally attached to it. And so that's what you want to do. You want to look at what it is that makes you emotional, what it is that you emotionally connect with, and really explicitly identify those things. And so what I want to do is I want to actually walk you through this process. I don't just want to tell you about it. I want you to actually do it. So what I want you to do right now is take out a sheet of paper and write down 5 to 7 things that are, again, career-oriented, work-oriented, 5 to 7 things that get you emotional, that get you worked up. Again, for me, it was building things and helping other people. Okay, those are the 2 that I really honed in on. So go ahead and write those things down and then come back to the video. All right, now assuming you've written those things down, let's go ahead and move on to step 2 of the process, and that's identifying your values. And these are the things that are important to you. These are the things that matter most to you. Now, when you first think about these things, you'll be tempted to think about things like family and friends and maybe your faith and so forth. And that's fine. Those things are all values and you should definitely keep those in mind. But I really want you to focus in on career-oriented things. And so to help you with that, I'll give you an example from my life. And that is one thing that I really came across as I was coding and learning all the technical things was that I value artistry and good ideas. And so I found myself more naturally attracted to and naturally inspired by things that had some sort of artistry to them that I looked at and I felt like it was a good idea. And in the things that I create that are my own, I always try to base them on artistry and good ideas and implement them in an artistic way. And again, artistry isn't necessarily about creative and kind of wild and right brain type thing. It can very much be a logical type thing and putting things together, making them function well, and so forth. So that's what it was for me. That's one of the things when it comes specifically to coding and work related things that I value is artistry and good ideas. So again, for you, you just need to look at it and ask yourself, what do I value? What's important to me? What if gone from this whole coding thing? What if it wasn't there, if I couldn't have that, would I not want to do this anymore? Okay, and again, I don't want you to just watch the video. I want you to actually do this. So go ahead, take out another sheet of paper or maybe half sheet or flip the notebook, whatever you're using, and go ahead and write down, again, 5 to 7 things that are you identify as your core values that matter to you most. And again, are kind of work related or job related to the gift that you have to give to the world. So go ahead and write those things down. All right, step number 3 is your talents. Now this is where I may differ a little bit from some of the people that talk about this kind of thing. I actually think your talents are important, at least in terms of being an indicator. Because again, here we're trying to uncover your passion. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to right now be a complete expert at the thing that you're most passionate about. A lot of people tell you that if you're passionate about something, that you'll put in the time and effort to get really good at it. And I believe that too. But my point here is that the things that you're already naturally talented at are a good indicator of things that you're passionate about. And the reason is because the things that because you're passionate about them, you've probably already spent time working on them. I read a book once that talked about it in terms, they called it your Friday night essence. It's the thing that when your work is done for the week, your regular job is done for the week, and you sit down, you have a whole weekend that you can do whatever you want to do. It's the thing that your mind naturally goes to. And that's what we're trying to uncover here. And for you, the things that you're talented at are probably things that you've spent a lot of Friday and Saturday nights working on when other people are out partying or watching movies or doing whatever they do for entertainment. Maybe you've been back at your house or your apartment or wherever you happen to live, and you've been working on this thing that most people would be like, that's work. But to you, it doesn't feel like work. Okay? And so again, that's something that you're probably already naturally talented at, and other people will probably already tell you that or come to you for advice on it. And so you want to look at that, because that's a strong indicator of something that you're passionate about. So again, don't just watch this video. Get another sheet of paper or however you're doing this, and write down 5 to 7 things that are kind of career oriented that you're talented at, that you identify you're talented at, or that you want to be really talented at, that you see yourself wanting to be the best in the world at those things. So go ahead and write those things down. All right, and last but not least, the fourth part of this process is identifying your vision. And your vision is about seeing what's possible for the future. Tony Robbins has a really good quote about this. He talks about it in terms of managers. And he says that a good manager, a good leader sees things as they are. So they see reality and sees the problems with it. They see things how they could be and what's possible. And then they see the path to make what is what could be. That's what we're talking about with your vision. So it's about looking at the things that you've kind of identified already and are passionate about, and the things that matter to you, and finding the things that you have a vision for, where you see that maybe it's not as great as it could be, or it could be better, and you see the path to actually take it from where it is now to where it could be, and you have a real vision for it. A good friend of mine, Michael Skye of visionforce.com, I highly recommend you go there. He talks about vision as a result of taking a stand, that when you take a stand for something, that the natural result of that is a vision of what's possible. And so think about it in that terms. Think about the things that are so important to you that you'd be willing to take a stand for those things, and have a clear vision of what you can create as a result of that. And again, focus those things on things that are kind of career-oriented, work-oriented. They're about your legacy. They're about giving your gift to the world. And go ahead and write 5 to 7 of those things down now. All right, so at this point, you should have, roughly 4 lists or pages or whatever of about 5 to 7 things that really matter to you, that revolve around your passion, your talent, your vision, and your values. And so what you want to do is you want to look for common denominators. You want to look for things that appear on all 4 of those different lists. Again, for me, the things that I continually came across was building things and helping other people, and doing it in a really artistic way. And when I did that, I could see a clear vision of giving my gift to the world to people that really needed what it is that I was best at, and me building them, their websites and helping them get their voice out and get their voice heard. And also a part of that, doing what I'm doing now, which is helping other coders to navigate this rough process of coding that we all go through. And so those were the things that were kind of, as I looked across all the different sheets that I had, those were kind of the common denominators. So that's what you want to do. You want to look for those common denominators and identify those activities that appear across all those things. And those are strong indicators of what your passion is. And again, this is going to kind of be a combination probably of those activities. It's not just like you look at those things and you're like, okay, these are the 5 to 7 things I should be doing. It's how do you build your career in a way where what you do on a daily basis is those core activities. Those should be the core activities that you really focus on, and everything else that you do should be secondary, and you should either outsource it, or if you can, not worry about it at all, or whatever the case is, however you decide to manage those things. But you should really just completely cut them out of what it is that you do and focus in on the core activities and figure out what it is that you can offer people in terms of your career and your business that is centered around those core activities. Now, I'll be honest with you, as you went through this, you may have found that coding doesn't appear anywhere on these lists. And that is entirely possible because you may have got into coding because somebody told you it was a good career, or there's people out there that are talking about coding right now that say this is what we should be doing and so forth. If it's not something that you're passionate about, if it's not showing up on these lists, then you really need to reconsider going after it. And I don't want to Obviously, I don't want to discourage anybody from coding, but if it's not what you're passionate about, you're going to waste your time. You will reach a point where you give up and realize this isn't what you really wanted. It isn't what you really wanted to do, and you're going to waste so much time. And I can speak to that specifically because I, in my early 20s, was really good at sales. In fact, I had taken over a store. Was the assistant manager, and I went through an 18-month training program in like 9 months. Got promoted to manage a store that was failing, was doing horribly, and in 2 months had completely revitalized the store and was on pace to break. We were actually breaking the previous best that store had ever had, and I was just killing it sales wise. And I was really, 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 really good at doing that kind of face-to-face sales. Problem was, I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't enjoy it. And it got to the point where all the hours and work and everything that I was putting in, it became overwhelming. And I just didn't feel like I was making any kind of impact or doing anything that was important for me. Now, there's lots of people out there who are salespeople where that is what they should be doing. And they are good at it. And they do impact people's lives. But for me, that wasn't it. And I wasted so much time chasing what I thought I should be doing because I happened to be good at it, but I wasn't passionate about it. So if you're not passionate about coding, if you found that as you've gone through this process, don't be afraid to look at those lists and figure out what it is you are passionate about, and pursue that. Now, obviously, if coding is one of those things, then you should definitely stick around and pursue your coding career, but find a way in which you can build your business and what it is that you offer that orients yourself around those core activities. All right, so that's how to go about discovering your passion, and hopefully you found that helpful. All right, so hopefully you found that presentation helpful. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe wherever that button is. I'll probably just put one up here for you to click because I think that'll be easier. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel to get more videos just like this one. And if you like this video, please like the video, because that's how I know that this is the kind of information, this is the kind of content that you're after. And if you have any questions as you're going through the process, by all means, let me know in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.